Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69. Today, we are delving into the fascinating world of the United States Jefferson nickel from the year 1985. At first glance, it may seem like a simple 5-cent coin, just another piece of pocket change. But in reality, this coin is a testament to American history, numismatic artistry, and, for collectors, potential hidden value that can surprise even the most seasoned enthusiasts. The year 1985 was an interesting time in American culture and economy. The nation was experiencing technological progress, cultural shifts, and the early days of a new era of finance and commerce. Everyday coins like the Jefferson nickel were circulating widely, used in vending machines, cash registers, and coin jars across the country. Amidst these ordinary transactions, the 5-cent piece continued to carry the legacy of one of America's most revered presidents, Thomas Jefferson. His portrait, gracing the obverse of the nickel, serves as a tribute to his leadership, his contributions to the founding of the nation, and his role as the author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse side of the coin, featuring Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, ties the coin to a tangible piece of American history. The 1985 Jefferson nickel was produced in substantial numbers at multiple mint locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with each mint providing its own subtle characteristics. The vast majority of these coins went directly into circulation, enduring years of daily use, friction against other coins, and the inevitable wear and tear of pocket life. Over decades, this usage dulled many coins, making uncirculated examples increasingly rare. For collectors, coins in pristine condition from this era are the true gems, often sought after for their historical and numismatic value. One of the most important factors in determining a Jefferson nickel's value is its condition. Coins that remain uncirculated, showing original mint luster, sharp details, and no signs of wear, are far more desirable than those that have been heavily circulated. Professional grading services assess these coins on a scale that considers surface quality, strike sharpness, and overall preservation. A high-grade 1985 nickel can immediately attract attention, especially when it exhibits exceptional details and brilliance. Collectors also focus on subtle design features. The Monticello building on the reverse of the nickel should display crisp, clear lines, with architectural details sharply defined. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile should be distinct, with fine details in his hair and facial features fully visible. Coins that exhibit these qualities are often candidates for higher grades and increased market value. Minor anomalies, such as die errors or striking imperfections, can make a coin even more interesting to collectors. These errors are unique, and even subtle differences can elevate a nickel above its standard counterparts. Despite the rarity of high-quality examples, most 1985 Jefferson nickels remain relatively common and are worth only their face value. They are found in change, coin rolls, and collections across the country. However, the few that were preserved in pristine condition, or that exhibit exceptional features or mint errors, can be considerably more valuable. These coins are often sought after by collectors who understand the importance of condition, strike quality, and rarity. Identifying a valuable 1985 Jefferson nickel requires a keen eye. Look for coins with sharp, well-defined details, smooth surfaces, and original luster. Examine both the obverse and reverse for full design clarity, ensuring that the Monticello lines and Jefferson's features are crisp. Coins that meet these standards are often submitted for professional grading, which provides collectors with an authenticated assessment of quality. A certified high-grade nickel can dramatically increase its visibility and auction value, attracting serious collectors and competitive bidding. So, what is the value of a 1985 Jefferson nickel in today's collector market? Ordinary circulated examples remain close to 5 cents, as millions were produced and widely used. However, for mint state coins in exceptional condition, or those with notable die errors, the value rises significantly. Serious collectors, numismatists, and auction houses recognize the rarity and demand for the finest examples, and they are willing to pay premiums for coins that meet these exacting standards. Among all the 1985 Jefferson nickels, one remarkable example, preserved in perfect mint state condition and certified by a professional grading service, sold at auction for the impressive sum of $435. From an ordinary 5-cent coin to a collectible piece prized by enthusiasts, the 1985 Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how history, preservation, and rarity can transform a common coin into a miniature treasure. Today, we're focusing on one specific coin from this beloved series, the United States Jefferson nickel minted in the year 1975. To most, it might look like a simple 5-cent piece, something that jingles in pockets and rolls across counters without a second thought. But to collectors, numismatists, and history enthusiasts, the 1975 Jefferson nickel is far more than its face value. It is a small, metallic window into America's past, a tribute to one of its founding fathers, and, in rare cases, a remarkable investment. The year 1975 was a fascinating time in American history. The nation was navigating a period of social and political change, economic challenges, and technological innovation. The everyday rhythm of life, however, continued to revolve around coins like the Jefferson nickel. People carried them in wallets, used them in vending machines, exchanged them for goods and services, and, in many cases, stored them away in jars or drawers for later. Amid all these transactions, the nickel quietly preserved the likeness of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, whose portrait graces the obverse side of the coin. Jefferson's visage is more than decorative, it is a symbol of liberty, vision, and the enduring principles upon which the nation was built. On the reverse, the coin depicts Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, anchoring the coin in a tangible piece of American heritage and architectural history. The 1975 Jefferson nickel was minted primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint added subtle variations in finish and strike quality, and these differences can become significant when evaluating a coin's collectability. Millions of these nickels were produced, and most entered circulation immediately. Over decades of use, countless coins accumulated scratches, wear, and dulling, which makes uncirculated examples increasingly rare. For collectors, these pristine coins represent the best preserved specimens, and they often become highly desirable due to their rarity and condition. Condition plays a critical role in a coin's value. Mint state coins, those that have never been circulated, retain their original luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces. A 1975 Jefferson nickel in mint state is a testament to both careful preservation and the quality of the minting process itself. In the world of numismatics, condition can make a dramatic difference, often turning an ordinary 5-cent coin into a valuable collectible. Professional grading services carefully examine each coin, evaluating surface quality, strike sharpness, and any imperfections. The results of these assessments provide collectors and buyers with an objective standard, which can significantly influence market value. Collectors also pay close attention to the finer details of Jefferson nickels. On the obverse, Thomas Jefferson's profile should be distinct, with sharply defined hair, facial features, and lettering. On the reverse, Monticello should display clear lines, architectural details, and crisp lettering. Coins that exhibit these qualities, especially in combination with full mint luster, are considered exceptional. Moreover, minting errors, such as slight misalignments, die cracks, or off-center strikes, can make a 1975 nickel truly unique. Each anomaly tells a story of the minting process, creating one-of-a-kind coins that are highly coveted in the collector market. Despite the fascination with high-grade examples and rare errors, most 1975 Jefferson nickels remain ordinary circulating coins, worth only their face value. Yet, the few coins that have been preserved in perfect condition or that display rare characteristics stand out as prized collectibles. These coins are highly sought after by serious collectors who understand the importance of rarity, preservation, and historical significance. They serve as miniature artifacts that not only represent monetary value but also offer a connection to America's past. Identifying a valuable 1975 Jefferson nickel requires a discerning eye. Look for coins with sharp details, smooth surfaces, and brilliant luster. Examine both the obverse and reverse for clarity in Jefferson's features and Monticello's architecture. Coins that meet these criteria are often candidates for professional grading, which authenticates quality and dramatically increases auction and resale value. High-grade examples, especially those with certified full steps or rare mint errors, can command significant attention in the collector community. So, what is the value of a 1975 Jefferson nickel in today's collector market? Ordinary circulated examples remain near 5 cents, reflecting their widespread availability. But for mint state coins in flawless condition, or those featuring notable minting anomalies, the value increases substantially. Serious collectors recognize the rarity of these coins, and auctions often reveal the premiums people are willing to pay for the finest specimens. Among all the 1975 Jefferson Nickels, one exceptional example, preserved in perfect mint state, professionally graded, and displaying outstanding detail, sold at auction for the impressive sum of $475. From a humble 5-cent coin to a highly prized collectible, the 1975 Jefferson nickel demonstrates how preservation, rarity, and history can transform an everyday coin into a miniature treasure. Today, we are exploring the Jefferson nickel from the year 1964, a coin that may seem humble but carries with it a story spanning decades, a glimpse into American history, and for collectors, a potential treasure worth much more than its face value. The year 1964 was a time of significant change and development in the United States. The country was navigating the challenges of a rapidly evolving world, experiencing cultural shifts, economic growth, and political developments. Everyday coins like the Jefferson nickel played a quiet but essential role, facilitating commerce while serving as reminders of American heritage. The obverse of this nickel bears the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, an iconic figure whose contributions to the founding of the nation remain legendary. His image on the coin is a tribute not only to his political leadership but also to his vision, intellect, and enduring influence on American society. On the reverse side, the nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate. This design connects the coin to a tangible piece of history, allowing collectors to appreciate the craftsmanship of the mint while also recognizing Jefferson's personal and architectural legacy. Every line in Monticello, every letter in the inscriptions, speaks to the care and artistry that went into producing this coin. The 1964 Jefferson nickel, like others in the series, was struck with precision to create a balance between functionality and beauty. This particular year's Jefferson nickel is notable for several reasons. In 1964, the United States Mint produced coins at multiple locations, including Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from each mint may exhibit subtle differences, including variations in strike quality and finish. Millions of these nickels entered circulation, and over time, most experienced wear from decades of handling. Circulated coins typically show scratches, worn details, and a loss of original luster, making uncirculated examples from this era increasingly rare. For collectors, finding a 1964 Jefferson nickel in pristine condition is like discovering a hidden gem, a small piece of history preserved perfectly through time. Condition is one of the most important factors when determining the value of a coin. Mint state coins, those that have never entered circulation, retain their original shine, sharp details, and smooth edges. A 1964 Jefferson nickel in mint state is highly desirable because it represents the coin as it left the mint decades ago, untouched by human hands. Professional grading services evaluate these coins carefully, assessing everything from surface quality and strike precision to any subtle imperfections. High-grade coins often command attention at auctions, and their rarity drives demand among serious collectors. Collectors also pay attention to specific features on the Jefferson nickel. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile should be sharp and detailed, with clear hairlines, facial contours, and lettering. The reverse, featuring Monticello, should display crisp architectural lines, well-defined lettering, and full clarity in every element. Coins that exhibit these characteristics are often considered premium examples and may even qualify for designations like full steps, indicating exceptional strike quality on the steps of Monticello. Rare mint errors, including off-center strikes, die cracks, or other anomalies, can make a 1964 nickel even more desirable, transforming it from a common coin into a unique collectible. Despite the fascination with high-grade examples and rare mint errors, most 1964 Jefferson nickels remain ordinary, circulating coins with values close to their face value of 5 cents. However, the few that have been preserved in mint state condition, or those with notable minting characteristics, are highly sought after. Serious collectors recognize the value of such coins, appreciating both their historical significance and the rarity of coins that have survived decades in pristine condition. Identifying a valuable 1964 Jefferson nickel requires careful examination. Look for coins with sharp, well-defined features, smooth surfaces, and brilliant original luster. Examine both the obverse and reverse carefully, ensuring Jefferson's profile and Monticello's architectural details are fully visible. Coins that meet these standards are often submitted for professional grading, which authenticates their quality and enhances their market value. A certified high-grade nickel can attract attention from collectors and competitive bidding at auctions, significantly increasing its potential worth. So, what is the value of a 1964 Jefferson nickel in today's market? Circulated coins are typically worth very little, often only slightly above their 5-cent face value. But mint state coins, especially those in pristine condition or with notable design or strike qualities, can be surprisingly valuable. At auctions, collectors compete for the finest examples, recognizing the coin's rarity, historical importance, and exceptional condition. Among all 1964 Jefferson nickels, one extraordinary example, preserved in perfect mint state, professionally graded, and displaying outstanding details, sold at auction for the impressive sum of $795. From a modest 5-cent coin to a highly prized collectible, the 1964 Jefferson nickel exemplifies how preservation, rarity, and historical significance can transform an everyday coin into a true treasure of numismatics. Today, we are focusing on a specific year, the United States Jefferson nickel from 1972. While it may look like an ordinary 5-cent piece, this coin has far more significance than meets the eye. It represents a blend of history, craftsmanship, and numismatic value that can make it a hidden treasure for collectors. The year 1972 was an intriguing period in American history. The nation was navigating political and social changes, the economy was in transition, and cultural shifts were reshaping everyday life. Amid these transformations, the Jefferson nickel quietly circulated across the country, facilitating commerce and connecting people through its everyday use. On the obverse side of the coin is the familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, a man whose influence on the nation's founding principles is still celebrated today. Jefferson's portrait is not just decorative, it is a reminder of the ideals of liberty, leadership, and intellect that he embodied. The reverse side of the 1972 Jefferson nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate. This image does more than show an architectural landmark, it links the coin to a tangible piece of American heritage. Every line and detail on Monticello reflects the skill of the United States Mint, emphasizing the artistry and precision involved in producing each nickel. Holding this coin, especially one in excellent condition, is like holding a piece of history in your hand, a connection to a time long past. In 1972, Jefferson nickels were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint introduced subtle variations in finish, detail, and striking quality, making coins from different locations unique in their own ways. Millions of these nickels entered circulation, experiencing the wear and tear of daily transactions. Scratches, worn edges, and dulled surfaces became common over time, which makes uncirculated examples increasingly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Condition plays a critical role in a coin's value. Mint state coins, which have never been circulated, retain their original luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces. A 1972 Jefferson nickel in mint state represents the coin exactly as it left the mint decades ago, untouched and pristine. Professional grading services examine coins for strike quality, surface integrity, and overall condition, providing collectors with a standard that helps determine market value. High-grade examples attract attention in auctions, often achieving significant premiums over ordinary circulated coins. Collectors also focus on specific design features of Jefferson nickels. On the obverse, Jefferson's profile should be well-defined, with visible hair strands, facial contours, and lettering. On the reverse, Monticello's architectural details should be crisp, with clear lines and lettering. Coins exhibiting these qualities are considered premium examples, especially when they are preserved in uncirculated condition. Rare minting errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling of letters, can further elevate a coin's desirability. Each anomaly makes the coin one of a kind, giving collectors a reason to pay attention to even minor variations. Although the vast majority of 1972 Jefferson Nickels remain common, circulating coins worth only their face value, a small subset has survived in exceptional condition. These coins are highly coveted by collectors who recognize their rarity and historical significance. Serious numismatists understand that preservation, combined with the coin's age and quality, can transform an ordinary 5-cent piece into a valuable collectible. Identifying a valuable 1972 Jefferson nickel requires careful examination. Look for coins with sharp features, smooth surfaces, and original luster. Examine both the obverse and reverse for clarity in Jefferson's profile and Monticello's architecture. Coins that meet these standards are often submitted for professional grading, which provides certification of authenticity and condition. Certified high-grade coins are more attractive to collectors and buyers, significantly increasing their value at auction or in private sales. So, what is the value of a 1972 Jefferson nickel in today's market? Ordinary circulated examples remain close to 5 cents, reflecting their widespread production. However, uncirculated coins, coins with exceptional strike quality, or those exhibiting rare minting anomalies can be considerably more valuable. Auctions and private sales often reveal how competitive collectors can be when bidding on the finest examples of these coins. Among all 1972 Jefferson Nickels, one extraordinary example, preserved in perfect mint state condition and professionally graded for its sharp detail and brilliance, sold at auction for the impressive sum of $395. From a humble 5-cent coin to a prized collectible, the 1972 Jefferson nickel demonstrates how rarity, preservation, and history can transform an everyday coin into a miniature treasure. Today, we're going to explore the Jefferson nickel from the year 1974, a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance but carries historical significance, numismatic intrigue, and, for collectors, potential hidden value that can make it a true treasure. The year 1974 was an interesting time in American history. The country was experiencing cultural shifts, economic changes, and a general sense of transformation. Amid all this, Jefferson nickels circulated widely, exchanged in pockets, cash registers, and coin jars, silently carrying the image of one of the nation's most revered leaders, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, has his profile on the obverse of the nickel. His portrait is more than just a decoration, it is a tribute to his vision, intellect, and the enduring principles he championed. Every time someone used a Jefferson nickel in 1974, they were touching a piece of American history. The reverse side of the coin features Monticello, Jefferson's historic Virginia estate. This depiction is not merely architectural, it connects the coin to a tangible piece of history, showcasing both the artistry of the United States Mint and the significance of Jefferson's legacy. Each line, each detail, each letter was carefully crafted to create a coin that was both functional and symbolic. The 1974 Jefferson nickel, like others in the series, was struck with precision to balance durability and visual appeal, ensuring that it could withstand circulation while maintaining its design integrity. In 1974, Jefferson nickels were produced in several mint locations, primarily Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from each mint exhibit subtle differences in finish, strike, and detail, which can be significant to collectors. Millions of these coins entered circulation, and over time, many acquired wear and tear, including scratches, dulled surfaces, and softened details. For collectors, the few surviving uncirculated examples, coins that escape the friction and wear of decades of use, are highly prized. These coins serve as windows into the past, preserving history in metal. Condition is critical in determining a coin's value. Mint state coins, which have never been circulated, retain their original luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces. A 1974 Jefferson nickel in mint state is particularly desirable because it represents the coin as it left the mint decades ago, untouched and pristine. Professional grading services evaluate coins for surface quality, strike precision, and overall condition, giving collectors an objective measure of value. High-grade examples are often the centerpiece of collections and can command significant attention at auctions. Collectors also scrutinize design details. On the obverse, Jefferson's portrait should display sharp hair strands, facial contours, and clear lettering. On the reverse, Monticello should exhibit crisp architectural lines and well-defined lettering. Coins that meet these criteria are often considered premium examples. Mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks, can further elevate a coin's rarity and value, making it a standout item in any collection. Each imperfection tells a story of the minting process, creating a unique piece that is highly sought after. Despite the interest in high-grade examples and rare errors, most 1974 Jefferson nickels remain ordinary, circulating coins worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, a subset of these coins that has survived in pristine condition or exhibits notable minting characteristics can be surprisingly valuable. Serious collectors recognize the rarity and historical importance of these coins and are willing to pay premiums to add them to their collections. Identifying a valuable 1974 Jefferson nickel requires careful examination. Look for coins with sharp details, smooth surfaces, and original luster. Examine Jefferson's profile and Monticello's architectural details carefully. Coins that meet these standards are often submitted for professional grading, which authenticates their quality and significantly enhances their market value. Certified high-grade examples attract attention from collectors and can perform remarkably well in auctions. So, what is the value of a 1974 Jefferson nickel in today's market? Circulated coins remain close to their 5-cent face value, reflecting the large quantities produced. But mint state coins, especially those with exceptional details or rare anomalies, can command much higher prices. Auctions and private sales demonstrate how much collectors value these exceptional coins, with competitive bidding driving up prices for the finest examples. Among all 1974 Jefferson nickels, one extraordinary example, preserved in perfect mint state condition, professionally graded, and exhibiting outstanding detail, sold at auction for the impressive sum of $425. From a modest 5-cent coin to a highly sought-after collectible, the 1974 Jefferson nickel shows how careful preservation, rarity, and historical significance can transform an everyday coin into a true treasure.